Welcome to the remix. This is the Haiden and Josh Oh, god damn it. Well, we have an outro now. Welcome to An Interview with My Best Friend podcast. I'm Haiden, your host. And this is episode 6 remix, as Josh so aptly put it. Wicka, wicka, what?
Haiden, I actually need to talk to you about something.
Oh yeah, man, what's up?
I know you're supposed to be hosting this episode and everything, but I've talked to the board of directors here, and we think that it would be in everyone's best interest if you left.
Left? Like...
Yes.
Left this episode? Like you have a special guest coming on?
No.
You have a special host for the podcast episode?
Yes.
6 remix?
We want you to leave this episode and all future episodes of the podcast.
Oh, you're firing me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fired. Okay. Well, can I know why?
Yes, of course, as is Washington state law, really. We have to have a valid reason to fire you. And our reasons are you were almost late uploading the podcast last week. Or however many weeks ago, once this episode comes out.
Now, I do want to point out that it's technically still was Wednesday in my time zone.
Technically still was, but when I was editing all the videos, all the episodes came out at 4 a.m. On Wednesdays, as I had promised they would be.
Yeah.
So I'm just putting that out there. And then the second strike, as the old saying goes, 2 strikes and you're out.
Oh, of course.
The second strike, of course, was you forgetting to hit record during episode 6, the original, and us losing half of that episode.
Yes.
Now, I know that there were drinks involved during that episode, but
there were.
That is still a fairly egregious error in the higher ups' eyes. I pled your case, man, but they wanted me to break this news to you myself.
Well, I'm obviously disappointed, but I feel like the board has spoken at this point, so if that's their decision, then I guess I'll just leave then.
That's probably for the best. I actually have somebody coming in for an interview in just a couple minutes, actually.
Oh, that quickly? You just already have somebody lined up to replace me, like that?
Well, it wasn't my idea. It was once again the higher ups. You know, Josh, like the big wig. He threw this all together.
Oh, okay. So Josh put you up to this.
Yes.
Okay, well, what did Haiden say?
Haiden kind of just stayed quiet the whole time. Except for one moment where he was like, yeah, get Haiden the fuck out of there. I can't stand him.
That does sound exactly like Haiden, so.
Yeah, it does.
Wow. Well, both Josh and Haiden agree that I should be off the podcast then. I guess I don't have a choice. I have to go.
It's out of my hands.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen then. I'm just going to say, hey, everybody, it's been a pleasure hosting the Interview with My Best Friend podcast. And this is your host, Haiden, signing off. And I would drop my mic, but it's really expensive, so I'm just going to leave it on the table. I'm just going to take these off. And if you talk, I can't hear you because I took those off.
This is true. I can call him a little
you're probably
taught.
Yeah, I can see your mouth moving. This is okay.
Yeah,
great.
I could just talk and insult him this whole time. All right. Well, I'm sorry for that unpleasantness at the start of the pod. We try and keep everything pretty pretty positive here. Uh, so that was not particularly fun. Um, but I do have a really promising candidate uh, that should be joining us any moment, really. So if y'all just stick around for a little bit. Oh, here he is. He's right here. Perfect. Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
everybody. Or
Hi.
is this live? Is this a live interview?
This is it's not a live interview, but we will be posting this interview later as sort of a bonus episode for everybody else listening, just so they can kind of get to know you a little bit better. Uh, Haiden, is that your name?
Yes, that's my name.
Perfect. That makes branding very easy.
Oh, why? What happened?
Uh, just the last host was also named Haiden, but
Oh, that's
uh,
cool.
he was Haiden. So
Oh, what the fuck? Are you
I
kidding
know
me?
it's not the best way to spell that name.
I mean, chances
Uh,
are if you have an I in your name, that's probably pretty kinky. So maybe, you know, maybe there were some other issues at play with
maybe
yeah.
we're not going to judge that. Uh,
No, we don't kink shame here on the Interview with My Best Friend podcast. I'm just saying it's
no,
just
we don't.
people with that kind of lifestyle, they tend to mess up a podcast, you know what I mean?
Uh, there is the capability in there. Yes. Hayden,
Yes.
if you don't mind, I'd like to get down to this interview with you.
Oh, sure.
I'm very excited about the possibilities of having you on the team. Uh, your resume was outstanding. Uh,
Thank you.
it looks it seems, if I'm reading my notes correctly, it seems that you are trilingual.
Yes, I am.
That is very impressive. Um,
Now, it's my understanding that this podcast is in English. This
yes,
podcast
very
that I'm
much so.
applying for.
I am monolingual.
Ah, I
So
see. Mm.
yes. Un- Unless no, I'm not going to throw a stupid dad joke in there because I want to keep our viewers.
Oh, well.
I was gonna say I was bilingual. I speak English and sarcasm.
Oh, what kind of idiot would say that on a
See,
podcast?
I see just the biggest of idiots.
Right.
But I didn't say it, so
That's
I
true.
said
You
I said I was
refrained
going to
from
say
saying
it.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
You kept your composure. I'm very proud of you. No,
Thank you.
admittedly, my English is not as good as my Spanish or my Mandarin,
Hmm.
but I will make an effort.
You seem like a very natural speaker, so
Oh,
I think it'll go just fine.
thank you. I've been studying for
Uh,
years. Really, it's an honor.
It's great to hear. So if you don't mind, well, my first question is actually like, what are your three strengths that you can bring to the table here? Obviously, one of them already is trilingual. You're very well versed in not only language, a few different languages, but also I've seen that you make an effort to kind of invest yourself in those different cultures as well. That's very good to see.
Yes, I like to think of myself as pretty multifaceted. Just not just with language, but also with culture. I boast to many people that I'm one of the few households in America that ask people to remove their shoes at the door. So that's something that I take as a point of pride, honestly.
Hmm. Very nice, very nice. What other strengths might you bring to the table? Let's try and find two more strengths that you might have
Well,
that maybe previous hosts didn't.
so I was that the previous host that I saw exiting, like
Yeah,
saw him going out the door. Okay.
he didn't say anything on the way out, did he?
No. He
No,
didn't know.
no. Okay. He didn't like throw any vases on the ground or anything like that. Didn't
Um,
trash the place.
no. He was very
Okay,
respectful.
that's very good.
He's a little bit short.
he was a little bit short. I didn't want to tell him that that was one of the reasons that he was fired, but it definitely was.
I mean, that's
Um,
okay. We stand a short king and all, but like
we do, but god damn,
he just doesn't seem to
like
carry it very well.
he did have small man energy. So
That's true.
take
Well, I saw him, and I must say
take
that
that as you
black
will.
tank top that he was wearing, I was not a fan.
I
Um,
wasn't either.
as you can
He
see,
did.
I'm wearing a tank top as well, and
Mhm.
I look fantastic in it.
I saw that as you came into frame. It was very stylish.
Thank you, thank you. So
Uh,
that's
we
another
we
thing
can
that I
mark
can
that down as one
bring.
of your strengths. There we
Yes,
go.
we can bring that to the podcast.
Much better fashion sense. I
I
love it.
I like to say all the time that I'm conventionally attractive and no further. So that's about it. That's all I got. I'm not gonna, grandstand and say that I'm handsome or anything stupid like that.
Yeah, we don't really want to uh, make it all about ourselves on here, even though it is an interview between uh, two best friends. Now,
Right.
I we'll get to the best friend part of
Okay.
all this.
Well, that
I'm sure you
actually
and I
kind
will have
of
a great relationship.
that kind of leads me into my third strength that I'd like to bring up is that
Oh yes.
I'm best friends with this guy,
Mhm.
and his name is Josh.
Oh well, that is just remarkable. That is also my name.
I am very well aware of that.
Wow.
So I think that, this is we're really
Like
gonna hit it off.
just imagine the odds of that happening. Like my last host was Hayden. You're Hayden. Your best friend's name is Josh, and my name is Josh. That's just wow. There have been some coincidences today.
It is very shocking. There's definitely some mojo jojo at play, or some
Oh,
kind of. I don't think it's nefarious, but I do think it's suspicious.
it is fairly suspicious, but we're just going to keep rolling with the punches and see where these tides take us. Um, moving right along, just kind of like piggybacking off of that strengths question, it's good to know your limits, your boundaries, what have you. So, like, what are three of your quote unquote weaknesses that you may possess?
Well, sometimes I think this is probably one of my biggest flaws. I spread myself too thin.
Mm,
So I try to take on too much work, and that sounds
hmm
like I'm trying to set up a premise that like that's a strength, but it's really not because it ends up being a hindrance in the end, and I'm trying to
hmm
catch up and juggle all the things that I'm doing,
Of
and
course.
sometimes I fill up my schedule, and then life happens, and then I'm caught off guard, and then you know my schedule was so rigid and structured that
hmm
I don't really there was no room for flexibility, so that's where I really suffer,
hmm
and I would say that's
And
probably my greatest weakness.
we here at Interview Corp, we are very understanding of life happening, and we are very lenient with our. Uh, we're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
lenient with our discipline here.
Yeah, of course, of course. Another weakness that I have is I um this is something that I don't like to share very often, but I can, I'm looking at your face. You seem like a really trustworthy guy. So I feel like I'm just, able to just come out and say it. I enjoy pineapple on pizza.
Hmm. And I personally do not prefer that,
Right.
but to each their own.
Yeah. And I know that
I try to be very understanding.
I know that that's a controversial opinion, and seeing as how this podcast is going to be about us talking about our lives, it will inevitably come up on the podcast,
Mhm.
and it will probably be very badly received.
It probably will, but I will stand pat with you the whole way. So don't even fear about that. You are well supported here.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I feel safe. My third, man, this is a tough question. My third
It really
weakness,
makes you think about yourself. You have
I
to really dive in and be introspective.
I am really struggling with this question. I think that I have trouble staying motivated.
Mm.
Um, yeah. So, sometimes if like I wouldn't say that my work ethic is very structured per se. I would kind of say it delineates down to I get bursts of energy and then I
Hmm.
accomplish a great deal of work. And
Understandable.
then when I'm slumped, I pretty much don't do anything.
Hmm.
So,
That is very fair. We all hit those slumps. It's very understandable. I hit those slumps every now and then. I've been trying to get myself out of those slumps uh, from happening as often as they used to. Uh, but it's it's a natural part of life. Nobody can go 100% all the time, except for Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but he's probably the one exception.
it's true. It's true. He can. I've seen him on television and movies. I haven't seen him in real life though. I'm not trying to say
That'd
that
be
I have.
really cool.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, like Dwayne, if you want to be on the show someday, just hit us up.
Hmm.
I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry. Just
No, I don't
excited
think
about the
so.
possibilities. I
I
I
don't think
feel
so
a
at
very
all.
strong connection. I feel a very strong connection here. I feel like this is definitely going to work out. We just have to go through the rest of the rest of the interview more as a mere formality at this point. I feel like
I
you're a
understand.
very strong candidate, and
Oh, thank you. I
I feel
appreciate
like
that.
I am very much leaning towards recommending your hire.
Oh, okay, great.
I can't guarantee anything. It all goes through the big wigs up top, but they trust me to conduct the interview. This is being recorded, by the way. But I
Oh, it is.
obviously,
Oh,
obviously, I think you knew that because I did say that this would be a sort of bonus episode later.
yes.
So, continuing on, uh, so we have had. Uh, I just want to say we did have another interview before you, and I feel like this is going much better than that one. He was that last interview that we had. He seemed very full of himself.
Mm,
Hmm.
yes.
It
I am never that.
no.
No, certainly not.
That's good. That's fantastic to hear. Um, so Hayden with a Y.
Yes.
Uh, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, ideally, I would be in a career where I'm actually happy.
Hmm.
And whether that's, in the entertainment business or not, I do have aspirations to work in government in some capacity. Uh,
Hmm.
Probably not as like a legislator or something along those lines, but more
You
of
don't
like
want to
a
be president. Got it.
no, 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 absolutely not. No, no way. I would much rather fill a more diplomatic role or maybe like
Oh,
something along that vein of work.
put that
Um,
trilingualness to use.
yes, exactly.
Hmm.
If I had to fall back on a career, I suppose I could be a teacher. I have done that in the past. And actually, something that's come to my attention very recently, well, you see, in the last week or so, a little over a week, I've started attending yoga classes.
Oh,
And the instructor in the yoga studio has said that she sees a lot of potential in me and has offered to train me as a yoga instructor.
oh,
So
very nice.
I don't know if I'm going to pursue that. It's very tempting, but also, as we talked about before, I tend to do this thing where I spread myself too thin. And so
Hmm.
I think that that would almost absolutely cause me to have to make sacrifices in my professional and personal life that I'm perhaps not ready to make just yet. So,
Probably, definitely. I could definitely see that. Uh, happening. We really don't want you to feel like you're spreading yourself too thin here. So we will constantly support you in whatever choices that you make.
Thank you.
Um, so this once again, this interview is just like breezing right along. It's very nice. It's going at a very good clip, I would say. Can you, Hayden, uh, with a Y, describe a time when your work was criticized?
Yes. So, approximately a few weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
I was working on a project,
Yes.
and I was in the need to do it very quickly. And
Mm-hmm.
so I just kind of did a haphazard job, and I just slapped it together and called it a
Mm.
day. And the executives, they kind of came down on me for that. And
Oh,
uh, so now after that, lesson learned. I have to take my time with things, and I have to
that's just very
allocate.
unfortunate.
Yes, I have to allocate an
I
appropriate
I
amount of
just
time for.
I cannot believe any uh, company or governing body would not be understanding of any like extenuating circumstances or anything like surrounding your situation.
Oh, I mean, I fully deserved it. I probably didn't work to the best of my ability, all things considered.
Oh, I'm sure you did. Don't be too modest. I'm sure you did.
I mean, I did put my best foot forward, but you know, sometimes have you ever had a situation where you work on a project for hours
Mm-hmm.
and then you lose all of your progress due to a technical malfunction, and then you then
Mm-hmm.
have to start over
Yes.
completely from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and none of your work was saved?
Yes, I've had that happen a few times. Is immensely frustrating. I
It's
cannot put into words just how frustrating that is.
it is quite frustrating, and that is unfortunately what happened to me. But I had to take full responsibility, and that involved me, working a little bit harder on the back end to catch up. And yeah, so situation resolved. But I would say that's the most recent time that my work was criticized, and I
Okay.
also think it's the most relevant. So that's why
That
I
is
live
very
with that.
fair. I like that answer. It shows accountability for your actions. It shows that you learned from uh, uh, that situation and that you made yourself a much better employee by that too. Hmm. Um, so let's get away from that kind of talk. Let's get away from
Sure.
these more business oriented questions. Let's loosen up a little bit. Let's like just shake it out. Just let's get a bit looser here. So Hayden,
Hmm.
with a Y,
Hmm.
if you could be anywhere in the world right now, where would you be and why?
I could be anywhere in the world right now. Where would I
Mhm.
be?
I know I would be in the Suez Canal. That joke won't be topical when this releases.
No, not at all. As we say in the fleet, that ship has sailed, my friend.
Mhm.
Uh,
That joke
uh,
isn't even topical as we're
I
recording.
know, yeah. Even the joke I made is a topical as we're recording. If I could be anywhere in the world right now, where would I be? That is a tough question. In this moment, right now, I would
This moment right
probably
now.
be in the kitchen
Oh.
because I just got done eating dinner, but I'm still hungry. So
Mm.
maybe if I was in the kitchen
Mm.
right now, I could whip
Cook yourself
myself.
up a little snack. Just
Yeah,
go into the pantry, find a little something maybe
yeah.
something already pre-prepared. Yeah.
I got
Nice.
my eyes set on this pack of Pop Tarts that's just been
Ooh,
chilling
just been
right
staring at you.
there in the
Mm.
cupboard, just looking me dead in the eyes. And well, not directly in the eyes. I actually had to tell them, hey, my eyes are up here, okay? So,
Oh,
it's one of those.
there were those kind of Pop Tarts.
Yeah, you
They
know
were
how
the
they
male
get.
gaze Pop Tarts.
Yeah, you know how they get. They get frisky. So, gotta watch out. But that's
Nice.
probably
I know
that's
that.
probably where I would be. Close second would be right here in this interview because I'm really enjoying
Oh,
myself.
well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad that you're enjoying yourself and feeling comfortable during this interview. It's like we have a natural sort of connection. It's very nice.
Yeah.
I totally get the whole Pop Tarts thing. I have a fucking box of cinnamon toast crunch sitting behind me. Shrimp tails not
Ooh.
included. Uh,
Oh, that's disappointing.
it's also not a topical joke, but it's the truth.
Well, this will drop next week.
True, but that guy is a piece of shit. But whatever.
True.
But they've just been staring at me the whole time. And, like I can feel like those crazy wacky eyes on those cinnamon toast crunchers, just staring at me, staring
Mm-hmm.
daggers into my soul.
Yeah,
Anyways, I got a little off topic there.
that's all right.
Why, Hayden? That was as your title. You are why, Hayden. Hayden with a
Oh,
Y.
okay.
No, I wasn't asking you a question. Not yet.
Okay.
Uh, are you ready for? Are you ready for your next question? All right.
Yeah.
Are you ready for your next question?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes.
What is your greatest fear?
Oh God.
Is it me talking directly into the mic?
It wasn't until about 10 seconds ago, but now, honestly, my greatest fear is dead air. Oh, not again. No, if I'm being candid,
You just were.
my greatest fear, I'm really okay. So here's the thing. I'm really, really bad. I think I might have said this before, maybe, but maybe not.
Well,
I don't
not
know.
to me.
Um, yeah, okay. I hate being alone. Like, I went to a restaurant by myself and I sat down and I just ate by myself.
Oh my goodness.
And well, first of all, I never do that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure you very well know. And I
That just
did.
seems like an uncomfortable experience.
I just wanted to see if I could do it. And I didn't know what to do. Like, do I just eat? Like, I inhaled my food because I didn't want to be on my phone because that's weird.
Yeah.
I didn't want to watch the TV that was playing in the restaurant because I also felt like that was kind of weird because I was the only one watching it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
everyone else there was with somebody except me. And
You're just the loner McGee.
yeah. So I don't know. I just felt weird. And it's not like a situation where it's like, oh, well, I haven't done this yet, but this is also something that I want to try and see if it would, be better than a restaurant. But I want to try going to a movie theater by
Mm-hmm.
myself and just see how that experience is. But I also feel like that is also going to be weird just
Um,
because I don't know.
I've done a solo mission to the movie theater. It was back when the instant classic Rogue One was in theaters.
Mm,
Uh, I had just gotten off of work. It was like 9 o'clock, and it was wintertime because that's when Rogue One came out.
mm-hmm.
I think, fairly certain.
Yeah.
No, maybe. Who knows? Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? Because I had seen Rogue One, I think a couple times in theaters before that already. but I was just like, I really want to watch Rogue One, but only for Vader murking all the rebels in the hallway at the end of the movie, which I realized I have to sit 2 hours through to get to. I
Yes.
realized that going in.
And was it worth it?
And I'm sitting there all by myself.
Hmm.
There's like a dozen other people in the theater. Uh it was like the third weekend that Rogue One had been out. So like most of the excitement for it had died off at that point.
Hmm.
It was also 9 o'clock at night on a weeknight.
Oh,
And I worked in the morning the next day, but I was like, I need to see Rogue One again.
you're a legend.
Um, it wasn't a very, I felt like it might have just been because I was tired, but it wasn't too awkward of an experience. I kind of dozed off in the middle of it because the middle of it's pretty boring. But once you get into the third act of that movie, it really just picks up, and it's just you can't not stay awake.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
I definitely would say going to the movie theater by yourself is not the worst experience in the world.
I am excited to try it. We will see if uh, America can be trusted with the responsibility to have movie theaters open again. But
I want them
this
to be.
this isn't
I
something that
miss movies so much.
same. But honestly, I don't see this happening anytime soon because, as we all know, Americans pretty much suck.
This is true, and I'm glad that you share that viewpoint because I am living in America and anti-America.
I wouldn't say I'm anti-America.
I was just about to clarify. I would not say I'm anti-America. I am anti-America can do no wrong.
Yes, I agree with that. I would say I love my country, but I'm not proud of it right now. I
Yes.
think that's probably the most apt description about my feelings towards the nation that I was born in. So I think it's probably just a good place to leave that one.
I would just like the records to show that I did not steer this conversation into a political direction. I did not steer the interviewee uh, into a politically charged question. I did not ask them about their political ideological stances. Just wanted the
Yes,
record to show that he went there by himself, and I just provided commentary. Thank you,
thank you.
thank you. Um, we only have a couple questions left, Hayden. How are you
Okay,
feeling?
I feel good.
That's good. That's
Feel
good.
energized.
That's good. I'm glad. Um, so
Hmm.
Hayden
Hmm.
with a Y,
Yes.
what would your ideal work environment look like?
My ideal work environment.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, I would be one of those people who posts on Twitter about having copious amounts of passive income and not work a goddamn day in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only difference is instead of being an asshole and a grandstander, I would take a more leaning towards philanthropy approach to it,
Mm.
and any excess money that I didn't need for my personal life I would give away or put into charity or just help out anywhere that I can because I'm a good person.
It's very respectable.
But if I did have to work, then I would say honestly, uh, in the past year, I've been working from home a lot. And I have to
Mm-hmm.
say, I'm not really a big fan because
Interesting.
when I come home, I want to relax. And if I have to work at home, I'm not relaxed.
That's fair. That's
So
very
then
fair.
it's like when you get done working, where do you go? You're still home. You're just
So you
done
have to have like
working.
you have to have like your own specific workroom that you're like, okay, gotta get dressed and like get ready for work today. Gotta go to that room specifically, and then like you just never go in that room unless it's for work.
Well, as you can see in the background, my home. Uh,
It's a very charming home. I like it. I like it a lot.
thank you, thank you.
It seems very familiar.
So I actually had it modeled after the little house that's in New Zealand, the Hobbit home.
Oh yes, I also had my home modeled like that.
I can see that. It looks very, very
Yes.
nice.
Thank
Uh,
you. Thank you.
I I think it might be the quality of your camera, but your house looks amazing. Like it looks
Thank you.
very detailed, whereas mine seems kind of pixelated and blurry. So that's impressive.
Yeah. Well, I was gifted a very, very nice camera.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. I have
So
some very good friends.
so yeah, that's pretty much all I'm saying is it's kind of hard, working from home
Mhm.
because my workspace is also in my bedroom. So then I
Mm.
suppose when I get done with work, I could go downstairs and, you know, but still just
But then you come up
being,
to like go to sleep and you're like, oh God, that's where I work too.
yeah, that's what I'm
It's
saying. So just the fact of like being in the
understandable.
home and then you take like a break for lunch and you just like go to your kitchen and like make something and then you go right back to work right in your like again not
Yeah.
to beat a
No,
dead horse
that
but you're still physically there. It's very demoralizing.
it definitely seems like obviously there have been some people who have thrived under working from home. My older brother has worked from home and he's very much enjoyed it. But uh, I can definitely get how working from home might be very taxing to say the least.
Hmm.
Um, well, I just have one last question for you, Hayden, with a Y.
Okay.
If you'd be so willing to answer it for us. So this last question, uh, what can you do for us uh, here at Interview Corp LLC that other candidates that we have interviewed can't?
Interesting question. I think, and this is the reason that I applied for the job, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I think that I can bring to this Interview Corp LLC a new face, a new energy,
Mm-hmm.
and a new perspective that maybe this corporation hasn't seen before.
Mm. And a
So,
new voice.
and a new voice. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, definitely that. So, like I said, I'm under the understanding that I'm on film and I'm also having my voice recorded and
Mm-hmm.
we're going to get into a lot of my life and opinions and
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature. So I just think that I bring myself to the podcast, really.
Mm.
And that's probably a fresh and new experience from what maybe you and your corporation have had in the past. So I am essentially just offering my best self.
You know what, Hayden, with a Y?
Hmm.
Going over my boss's heads. You're hired.
That is fantastic news. I can't wait to get started.
Uh, So, good news for you
Mhm.
is we are expecting a huge uptick in viewers. So, your popularity will just skyrocket after this. Uh, so, I hope you're prepared.
Well, that's good news. I can't wait. I'm not in it for the viewers, but I am excited to work nonetheless.
That's great to hear. It's a pleasure to have you here, and it was a pleasure interviewing you. You're offered some very unique and thought-provoking answers.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for that.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity, and I hope that I won't let you down. And I'm very excited to work with you in the future.
Well, thank you, Hayden, and thank you for the interview. And for those listening, thank you so much for listening to this episode. It's been a pleasure to have you all along this way through sort of the turmoil and turnover here at Interview Corp. But we're gonna stick with it. We're gonna stick to our guns. And we're gonna just keep moving ahead.
Josh, if you don't mind, if I could talk to you really quickly,
Of course.
just kind of pull you off to the side a little bit. So it's come to my attention that you have gone over the executives' heads and you've hired a new person on the team.
Yes, I did.
Well, you see, the board of directors, Haiden and Josh. Well, they haven't met the new hire.
Good friends of mine.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. See, maybe a little bit too good of friends, maybe. Since you seem to be thinking that you can just make decisions for us now. So I'm here to tell you, I talked to Josh, and he asked me to come down here. And
how is he? I haven't seen him in a while.
He's doing very well.
That's good. That's great. That's great to hear. I'm so glad.
Yep. Mm-hmm. As I said, though, however, he was not very thrilled that you went over our heads and you hired a new this Haiden with a Y person.
Yeah.
That Haiden. You brought onto the team.
He's great.
Yes. Well, you see, we haven't I was just so sure met him.
Well, I was just so sure that they were going to hire him that I was just saving them some time.
Yes. Josh and I fully intend to hire him. However, it's not Haiden that he'll be replacing. It's actually you that he'll be replacing.
Wait, what the fuck?
Well, you see, we couldn't let you make the executive decision without consulting us first, and your transgression has, well, as we like to say in this corporation, one strike and you're out. So I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to let you go.
After everything I fucking you guys fucking suck. I hope this.
Now you're gonna try to yell at me to get a severance package? Well, guess what? It's not gonna happen.
Oh God, I'm leaving. I'm out. Goodbye. I hope this recording is awful and you all fail. Goodbye.
Good day, sir. Oh, he actually left. Oh God.